Welcome to the Empowered Working Mom Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Jocelyn Au Young. Our mission here is to amplify the stories of all moms so that they can be seen, heard, and supported in their motherhood journey, regardless of whether they're balancing motherhood with an external career or choosing to dedicate themselves fully to motherhood. We believe here that everyone has a unique story, and we found that storytelling is an impactful way to connect and learn from one another. Because sharing and listening to each other's stories makes us feel connected, supported, and inspired. We're excited to bring you diverse stories from fellow working moms like you. So grab your favorite drink, get cozy, and listen in to today's story to feel acknowledged, encouraged, and most importantly, that you're not alone in your experience as a working mom. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Empowered Working Mom Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Jocelyn, and today I'm joined by my friend and colleague, Gwendolyn, quote unquote, Grandma Gwen Siegel from the BIPOC Coach Collective. Now, Gwen is a seasoned leadership and relationship coach with over 15 years in public service and community advocacy. She's an ICF Associate Credentialed Coach who helps leaders uncover their behavioral superpowers. But more importantly, she's a mom who knows what it's like to feel lost in motherhood after waiting so long for it. Now, in our conversation today, Gwen drops some serious truth bombs about why being, quote unquote, too emotional is actually your leadership superpower. And she shares with us how to advocate for yourself even when it doesn't look pretty. But you know what I really loved from our conversation is when Gwen said this: I am not broken and I don't require fixing. I am an imperfect whole human being who has my own purpose. Now, can we just all sit with that for a minute? Or maybe say it to yourself. These are such words of healing. Am I right? Now, here's what I know for sure. If you've ever felt like you needed to apologize for your emotions or wondered who's telling you who you should be, then this conversation will definitely give you permission to choose yourself over and over again. So as I always say, grab your favorite drink, get cozy, and let's dive in. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode here on the Empower Working Mom Revolution podcast. And I'm excited to have my friend and colleague, Gwendolyn Siegel, but I call her Gwen. And how we met is in the BIPOC Coach Collective, and we call her Grandma Gwen in there. So, woo. So I am excited for y'all just to tune into our conversation because, before we start recording, we're just going to have some fun, y'all. So buckle up, pull up a chair, pull up a cocktail or something, your favorite drink, and just tune in. Yeah. So Gwen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm smiling from ear to ear just because our prep was so fun. So I'm really just looking forward to being here. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Well, before we dive into your story, which I'm super curious to hear about, is if you could just, do a little quick intro to our listeners about who you are, a little bit about what you do, your family, things like that.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Gwendolyn Siegel, and my maiden name is Rodriguez. I was born and raised in the great state of New Jersey, first generation Dominican American family. My parents immigrated from the Dominican Republic a couple years before I was born. And yeah, I'm one of almost 100 cousins, first cousins, no joke. One of the reasons I'm called Grandma Gwen is because on one side of the family, on my mom's side, I am the third oldest of all the cousins, and there's about 40, almost 50 of us, split among a lot of siblings. So, but I was the oldest one who was always around. So I somehow became Grandma Gwen because I was always the tallest one in the pictures when everybody was still little. And the wise one, right? So yeah. the one always making them all their favorite snacks and pancakes and juices and stuff. So I was literally a young grandma to a whole bunch of them. Um, but yeah, I that's where that comes from. I studied political science in college, and I had the fortune of working in my field right after college in DC. So I worked in international relations and economic development for 11 years, and then I took a break. It was a forced break, and then it became a chosen break, and then it was COVID, and then I was lost. And then before I know it, I found myself in coaching, and I have never looked back. So,
That's amazing.
in a nutshell, that's it. That's a bit of the story. I am married to a Peace Corps baby, and together we represent three huge religions and 20 different cultures. And we have this beautiful mixed baby that is just the light of our world. She's 6, so she's not really a baby. She hates it when you call her a baby, but you know, she's 6 going on 36. But but we have a lot of fun. We do. We have a lot of fun, and we find ourselves really blessed to have the life that we have. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I'm like now super intrigued by your story. Because I was like,
Oh,
"Ooh."
and yeah, I of course am the founder and CEO of DRS Creates, which is my coaching company. And I'm also on the board of the BIPOC Coach Collective. So I've been with Reem and the team since it started in July of 2020. And again, I've never looked back. It's been completely life-changing and amazing.
Oh my gosh, it is amazing what you have created, like in your own coaching company, but also in the collective together with the team.
Oh yeah.
I really want to hear because I know, I read your newsletters, which are amazing, with just your story. And so I would love to hear, like you alluded to some things that happen in terms of your work, but like who you are today, like Gwen today, like are there like pivotal moments in your life that kind of led you to who you are today? And if you could share.
Yeah. I mean, I guess one of the things about being grandma is that I have experienced a lot in my
Mhm.
short years of life. Oh my God, look at that. Right on cue.
Oh,
Right
yeah,
on cue.
right. Oh, so
I have
awesome.
here a cranberry cocktail.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Y'all, we're gonna have so much fun here.
It's it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but it's definitely, I mean, I think he knew. I asked my husband for a bevy. Oh, look at that with the nice big ice ball and everything.
Yeah.
Um, I think, yeah, this is a deep conversation, but and I will just say I am an open book with anybody that asks because I know how beautiful and how beneficial it is to others to hear that you're not alone in your experiences.
Mhm.
Um, and I have had so many pivotal moments that have changed my life in a million ways. Um, Gosh, like how far back do you want to go?
You, you get to choose. I know there's so many pivotal moments, like exactly what you said, right? Like there are so many pivotal moments that have shaped and carved the path to where have landed right now in the season.
Hmm.
And yeah, which one just comes up for you right now? Like that.
I mean, to be honest, it's going back to my daughter being born. I think
Mhm.
that whole experience for me, um, just even getting to pregnancy, um, was really difficult. And being Grandma Gwen, being the oldest of so many, I always, always, always thought, like, I'm gonna have a ton of kids, at least 4, gonna do all these different things. But then life, hits you in different ways. And I've struggled with autoimmune issues since I was 16, since I was officially diagnosed around 16. And I didn't understand for like the first, I don't know, 15 years what that would mean. For the first
Mm.
15 years of my life, like all these different medications and treatments, I had no idea what that would mean in terms of being able to have a family in the future. Long story short, when it's time to try, oops,
Mm.
um, turns out anti-inflammatories do cause some of these problems, and it was painful, physically, emotionally, everything. It was painful. But when it finally happened, it was like the perfect time.
Mm.
It took 4 years almost of trying and all this different stuff. And then when it finally happened, when I least expected it, like I thought we were getting ready to go and talk about IVF. And literally that same day, we showed up to the doctor and we told him we had a pregnancy test that was positive this morning. And he's like, let's not jinx it. Let's just confirm. And at 5 weeks, I got to see her for the first time,
Wow.
which is nuts. Um, and after wanting to be a parent for so long, um, as we started looking at daycares, we're like, oh my God, do I really want to leave my kid with somebody else? It just so happened that everything ended up working out. My job, where I was for 11 years, the organization closed like a few months after I had my baby. And I was afforded an opportunity to stay home.
Mm.
It meant a tighter budget. It meant a lot of changes. It meant me not working for the first time in like almost 20 years. Because I've been working since I was young, helping out in my parents' businesses when I was young. Um, that's not child labor. It's just sorry, just being clear.
Family
It's
business,
family
everyone.
business. We all know what that's like, right? Small mom and pop shops. It's not illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, no, but yeah, I was lost. It was one of those things. It's like I had this beautiful opportunity, and I loved it, and then I got lost in it.
Mm.
Uh, as many women do.
Say more, because I resonate with that phrase. I got lost in it, but I want to
Yeah.
hear from you.
Yeah. I mean, uh, when you've been wanting to be a parent for so long, and you
Mhm.
finally get that, and you finally have that baby in your arms, and you're like, this is all I had been wanting for so long. And look at that. I can get unemployment for a few months and I can stay home and just enjoy all the cuddles and the snuggles and all the things that I've been waiting for so long. It's like, this is perfect. This is all I would ever want, right? That's what you think. But what nobody could have prepared me for was the emotional roller coaster that it was going to be. Um, I became a mom, and my role as wife, as daughter, as sister, as all these other things, as coworker, as a neighbor, all of these other roles kind of like faded into the background. And I myself was so into my child that I lost sight of who I was.
Mm.
And I kept defending that and like, this is the best opportunity. This is the one opportunity I'm going to have to do this because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this in the future. To have this moment with my child, to have like to enjoy this period. Um, and I denied self-care. in the process too. I think I had postpartum depression from my 2-week checkup. Like I knew it,
Mm-hmm.
but healthcare being what it was, if you're not a danger to yourself or to somebody else, then you can manage. Just find a mommy group, talk to somebody. You can
Mm-hmm.
manage. Um, and I believed
Mm-hmm.
that would be enough. And again, nobody really prepares you for all the hormonal stuff that happens postpartum. Nobody. You can read all the books you want. I read a whole bunch of books. I saw, like, to this day, I'm still learning all the time about how to be a parent. And nobody prepares you for what happens within you as an individual person once this entire body that's been growing inside you is out.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, the internal stuff. It's
It's
not in the books.
no, and it's like, I don't know, it felt very lonely. It
Mm.
felt very, very lonely. I remember, oh, there was this image that I found on Facebook or something where there's like this mom standing in front of a window late at night, and you see like this whole city in the background. And in all these different homes, there's a mom standing in front of the window. And every single mom is feeling alone in that moment because it's 2 in the morning and you're with your baby. But we don't realize like we're all doing this together. We just feel alone in the process.
100%.
And I was like, shit, that's exactly what I'm feeling. Sorry for my language, but that's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah, I remember, I don't think I've ever thought of those moments in that sense of like, there's other moms who are going through the same thing, similar, not the exact same, but similar, right? Like, because you're absolutely right. In the beginning, it was very lonely. And I totally resonate with what you said when you've waited so long. I waited 6 years. I had to wait six. It wasn't my choice, y'all. Okay. God had other plans, or
Same.
Gus had other plans. God, universe, spirit. Thank you, Alex Dumas, for that. But like I, it wasn't by choice in that moment that you described when you're like, I have it. Like, you know, it, I don't know, like when you said like I got lost in that, I'm like, oh yeah, I totally like, yes,
Hmm.
see you there,
Yeah.
Gwen.
Yeah. Because it's like everybody and everything tells you you should be grateful. This is what you wanted. This is what you've been
Yeah,
waiting for. This is it.
yeah,
Be grateful.
hmm
Like find a mommy group. Just do something. Like get
hmm
that help. But it's like, but what about me?
me.
But what about me? Yes, I can find play dates. I can find all the activities and all the toys and all the things, all the Montessori stuff to set the world, to help her be this beautiful, great, smart, intelligent person who's like she was born being like a little leader in so many ways. She was a NICU baby, and in that week, she was like making faces in the camera. And I was just laughing from home because I had to go home. I couldn't even stay with her. And like I just saw her and I was amazed by this human being that's like funny already. Like, who are you? And there's all this attention always on the baby and the gifts and this and that.
hmm
And it's always about the baby and the child. But then it's like, and what about me?
hmm hmm
Like before this, I was wearing a whole bunch of other hats.
hmm
Before this, I felt like this woman who was like, yeah, my hair was always perfectly done and I was always dressed to the nines. And my coworkers could be dressed in sweats, but I always felt like my style was different and I had to show up with my boots or my heels or my dress or whatever because that's my style. Like that's how I show up. And now I'm literally in t-shirts and leggings and I can't see myself out of that because I'm lost.
How did you navigate through that and find yourself again?
It honestly was not pretty. It wasn't pretty. There were
I
lots and lots
I
and lots
appreciate
of tears. No, it
I
wasn't
appreciate
pretty.
that. I
Yeah,
appreciate that,
no,
Gwen.
I'm an open book and it doesn't I've learned that it doesn't serve me to hide the truth from anybody.
Mhm,
Because that's why we feel alone.
mhm.
We don't know what others actually go through. Um, and it was not pretty. I was crying my eyes out on a regular basis. Um, Feeling like nobody could see what I was asking for, especially the people that were closest to me. They couldn't see that I was drowning in my own thoughts. Um, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to be this thankful person that has this perfect child, right? So what did it look like? It looked like me starting to vocalize, no, this is all BS. Like, this is not okay. I'm not okay, and you don't seem to care. Or I'm not okay, and you're not picking up the phone and calling. Or you haven't seen me and you haven't come to visit. And I don't want to go visit because it's not my job. It sounded bitter for
Mm.
a while. Um, and do I know if that pushed anybody away? I honestly don't, except for the people that who were really paying attention to me. And that's when I realized, okay, these are my people. This is
Mm.
my village. These are my people, the ones who really see me and take the time to just sit with me. These are my people.
It took
And that's,
your own vulnerability to do that.
yeah, it took that. And it took me just vocalizing my anger, my disappointment. Um, which makes me want to cry, but it really took me just stopping the people pleasing and being angry. Like, F this, I'm advocating for me because nothing else is working. I go to my doctor, they're like, just find a mommy group. I go to get my hormones checked, and they're like, you're probably not just not doing something right. I was like being gaslit. And they're like, hold on a second. I'm pretty sure I grew an entire body and I took all my medicine and I took all the things and I did all that I needed to and I did all the prenatals and all the classes and all the stuff. I feel like I know my body by now.
Mhm.
I grew that human inside, like, and then I was cut open. So yes, I know, I know it's not okay. And it was that. It was putting putting boundaries, setting some boundaries, and just like actually just advocating for me. And like that, it took 2 years to get to that point.
The thing that sticks out to me is I love how you allowed yourself just to advocate and in a way that it didn't matter how it came out. You were advocating for yourself because you're like, yeah, it might have it was like anger, it was bitterness, it was just and that's okay. Like just like
Yeah,
you saying that is like I don't know, like as you said that, I could just imagine a fresh of like a lot of moms like sighing like, "Oh, that's okay." Like,
yeah,
like it's okay to there is no set way of I'm gonna put air quotes normal way to advocate for yourself. And also, like, when you said people pleasing, I was like, yes, preach. Go Gwen. Like,
Maybe. Yeah, I'm a natural people pleaser. Like
yeah.
naturally wired to build relationships and to find connections. Like literally proven scientifically that that's part of my being and
Mm.
how I am wired to be, right? So for me to come out and say, no, I'm not going to go and drive 6 hours to go visit you because you should be coming to me. It took a lot,
Mm.
a lot. Again, most of my family, especially at the time, was in New Jersey. So for them to meet my child, I had to go. Obviously, it's much easier for three people to go and drive 6 hours than it is for 20 people to drive 6 hours to come and see me, right? But it got to a point where I was exhausted. Like I am packing my whole life in a car to go and see people, and you guys can't even text or follow up or call. And I'm like, I think that's when I understood, and my mom really helped me see that when nobody's asking you to do this.
Mm.
Nobody's asking you to do all this stuff. And you know what else? You don't get to control other people's lives because you just don't know what's going on in them. And that's when it clicked. I don't have to do this anymore. That's when it all clicked. Like, I'm going to let them do their thing and I'm going to let myself do mine.
And what happened next?
COVID.
Damn, COVID, you're like, yes. You're like, shut
COVID
down.
happened.
The whole world shut down.
Literally, yeah, the whole world shut down. Um, and I was forced again to just be home. And it was like, thank God. Thank God. I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't stop working or learning or doing anything during COVID. I really didn't. I think on the contrary, especially staying home. I'm like, I have a 2-year-old. I got to figure out how to give her, like, keep her engaged and learning and doing stuff. So let's see what happens. And yeah, IKEA orders, little tables here, little things there. And yeah, I mean, COVID literally slowed everything down and helped those boundaries that I had been setting up just really solidify.
Alrighty, y'all, let's take a quick break to hear about some things that might make your mom life a little bit easier. Hey, mama friends, can I just share something that's going to be a total game changer for moms with toddlers? You know that overwhelming question that pops up of, what should I be doing to help my child learn at home? Well, here's what I love about Learning with Kelsey. The founder, Kelsey, gets it because she's been in our shoes. And as a former teacher and a mom, she knows exactly what kids need to thrive in kindergarten. But she also understands how overwhelming it can feel trying to figure it all out ourselves. You can check out her story because she was on our podcast in season 6, episode 7. Now, each month, you'll get a beautifully curated box filled with hands-on activities that actually make learning fun and not stressful. We're talking toddler boxes, preschool boxes, kinder prep, even sensory boxes. Everything is age appropriate and designed by someone who truly understands child development. And here's the best part. Over 35,000 moms are already using these boxes, which means Kelsey has figured out how to take the guesswork out of early learning for all of us. I'm excited to offer our listeners $10 off their first order. So just head to rstr.co/learningwithkelsey/5062, or you can click the link in our show notes. Now, trust me, as a former teacher, this is an amazing resource for any moms with toddlers. It'll save you time and energy and take the guesswork out of figuring out how to help your child learn at home. Hey there, mamas. Let's talk about that 4 p.m. panic moment we all know too well. You know, when you realize you have no idea what's for dinner tonight, let alone the rest of the week. I've totally been there, standing in the Trader Joe aisle, trying to piece together meals while juggling work calls and school pickup times. And that's why I'm excited to share Plan to Eat with you, the meal planning service that has honestly been a super game changer for me and my family. I've been using it for years. Plan to Eat lets you organize your recipes, automatically generates shopping lists, and helps you plan your meals for the week in just minutes. No more last minute takeout guilt or scrambling through Pinterest at 5 p.m. What I love most is how it gives me back control over my time and our family to be able to eat healthily. I can plan our meals during my Sunday coffee moments, and the rest of the week just flows smoothly. Right now, my listeners can get 20% off their first year subscription. Just head to plantoeat.com/REF/empowered mom. That's plantoeat.com/REF/empowered mom. Trust me, your future self will thank you when you're not stressing about dinner every single night. Okay, mama friends, let's dive back into this amazing conversation. Say more about that, because now we are out of COVID. So I'm so curious, like in the last 2 years, now that, you know, we have all come out of that pandemic experience and those boundaries solidified, those moments where, like you said, like, no one's making me do this, right? Like, what's been the last 2 years like for you then?
It's been a complete makeover
Ooh, I love that
inside
word.
and out. Yeah, it's been a complete makeover inside and out. When it came to health, I found a therapist who was specialized in postpartum, and we worked through a lot of things that I had been stuck on, to the point where even with her, I was like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna say they have the benefit of the doubt. The doctors, like, no. I knew that I should have advocated more for myself back then, and I'm not doing that for them now. That's just with the birth experience and then firing other doctors, saying no to physicians that were not actually willing to listen to me and actually help me. Because autoimmune during COVID was no joke. Like, I literally had to have physical boundaries with certain people. And if that wasn't respected, then too bad, right? Because my community, my surrounding community, my neighbors, we were all taking care of each other so that our kids could play, so that our kids could have some normalcy, right? So that we could feel like we had some normalcy. Those boundaries, like learning how to value your neighbor and love your neighbor and take care of one another, like that type of relationship is worth so much more to me as a result of COVID.
Mm.
And I know how to really value what that is to really have family and a neighbor,
Ooh, I love that.
because we're literally all in the same boat. We can all make space for one another and our likenesses and our differences and take care of each other and just be there. So I learned, okay, this is what I want my family to look like. My natural family, my gained family, my chosen family. This is what I want it to look like. These are the people that I want to have as an example for my child, as support for me and my husband or my family if we ever need it. And to this day, I could tell you, anytime we've had an emergency, a hospital run, whatever, pick up the phone and be like, hey, can you watch my daughter for a couple hours? I have to go to the hospital. I'm not feeling well. Don't worry about it. We got everything. Like I literally don't have to worry. And I don't have to wait for somebody that's hours away to come and show up. That is a result of COVID.
That is a beautiful thing because I can see how, like, that's an extension of what you were experiencing in terms of when you said find my people, like finding your people that's aligned with your own boundaries and what you value and
Yeah.
redefine family.
Hmm. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. And I think one of the most beautiful things is that I think the power of choice, which is one of the main things that I try to advocate for with anybody, it's like we choose to live here.
Mm,
We choose to be in this neighborhood, to be in this environment, to have these friends. We choose one another over and over and over again. And it makes living life so much easier when you know you're in choice like that. I could go away for a month and I would know that I come back. And if my people are here or they're somewhere else, I know there's still a chosen family somewhere because all of this time we've chosen to build this together, right?
yeah.
With all the good and the bad. And like, I mean, there's never anything really bad. We even vacation together, which is beautiful. I mean, like, but that's the thing. It's like there's more out there if you open yourself up to make choices that are good for you.
Ooh, I love that. I'm like, did you listen in on my coaching session with my coach earlier today? Because we were talking about that. Like, I was like, holy cow. I'm like, this is like something I need to hear, obviously, from guests today about choice, because you're talking about it and another person earlier was that. And so, yeah, it's like you always can choose what you want to have in your life. I mean, it's very powerful, even what you shared about, like, even with your physicians, you had choice. You can fire them.
Yeah, yeah. I literally like there was one um who I remember I was doing a diet. I was doing keto.
Mm,
And unfortunately, it turns out keto and my thyroid issues, they don't work very well together. So I go and I see him and I show him the results from my labs. And he's like, you're probably not doing it right. And I looked at him and I'm like, first of all, I know you're retiring, but that doesn't mean that you can just dismiss a patient like that. I was livid. Like, just because you're checked out doesn't mean the rest of us are.
mhm.
And I walked out of there in tears and I never looked back. I wasn't going to let myself be invalidated by somebody who wasn't willing to listen. Like, I've been doing this for a while now. I've been managing things for a long time now. That's one of the things about chronic issues. It's like once you accept that it's chronic, you have a choice. You can
Mhm.
either help yourself as much as you can and create the boundaries and set the boundaries that are going to support you. So whenever there is a flare, whenever something is off, then you know what to do. Or you can kind of go with the flow and maybe succumb a little bit more than you should, or whatever it might look like. And I know what both things look like, and I know the consequences, right? The anti-inflammatories for my flares is one of the reasons why my PCOS is so bad.
Mm.
And that's why there's infertility again, even though I'm able to get pregnant. the infertility is there as a result of all of these indirect consequences. I know that now. And I'm not really willing to just have somebody tell me, oh, you're probably just doing something wrong. If I know in my heart that that's not true.
So I'm hearing like that the advocating and having choice is what got you through a lot of the challenges that you have experienced.
Every single one. Absolutely. Accepting, like recognizing and accepting that I am not a broken person.
Ooh, preach, go preach. Yes.
I am not broken and I don't require fixing.
Mm.
Accepting that I am an imperfect whole human being who has its own purpose is what helps me advocate for myself every day. I am who I am, and I have my gifts, I have my powers, I have my superpowers. I know where I'm weak, I know what my kryptonite is. And if I can communicate that and I can do the best that I can for myself as much as I can, as often as I can, then nobody's going to tell me I'm broken.
Because
Nobody has the power to tell me I'm broken because I'm not. And I'm
yeah.
not going to let them because guess who knows me better than anybody else? It's me.
Mhm. I have a question. That was so powerful. Okay, if you're listening, you need to stop, go back, re-listen, especially at the part where Gwen said, I'm not broken and I don't need to have an affixin. I'm an imperfect whole human being.
Hmm.
Because that's true for everyone. That's true for everyone. And so, how did you get to this point to trust yourself to make those choices? Because I know as a recovering people pleaser too, like it's like it's
Cheers.
cheers, right? She's got her cocktail. I got my pug mug here. Okay. um, like how did you how did you get to that point to trust yourself and trust those choices as the tendency for people pleasing, right? Because it's like two different things.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I credit my coaching, like getting
Mm.
coaching a lot with that. Um, all the assessments and all the conversations and all the things. Um, it really did help me a lot because if you read I know you've read my newsletter. I'm a very emotional person. And for the longest time, I always believed I was too emotional. I was too in tune. I was like doing all the things incorrectly. Like I was feeling all the things incorrectly in a way that, and to a certain degree, some of that was true, right? I was taking on the feelings of others as my responsibility.
Mm. I see you on
And
that one.
then, yeah, and then I was like coached through a lot of that. And I learned what a beautiful thing it was to be empathetic and vulnerable,
Mm.
and how difficult that is for so many people. And for me, it's easy.
Hmm.
And then I became more aware of that. And I
Hmm.
felt empowered to just lean into it.
Mm.
Just lean into just being that vulnerable, authentic, emotional person. And oh my God, the release. of pressure to people please, to like control my emotions and control all these things so that other people felt comfortable, gone. Because I thought that that was something that was wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, you don't go to college and somebody tells you, hey, at least not in the early 2000s. Nobody tells you, uh, in order to be a great leader, you have to be empathetic. Now that's like a required skill. But if you're naturally empathetic, or like something's probably wrong with you. You're a little too emotional for corporate America. Even for nonprofit America, you're a little too emotional. This is why women are like, no, she's too emotional to be president.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, when we're seeking connection, when we're seeking to grow, when we're seeking to have somebody see us for who we are and help us figure out where we belong in society, in a house, in a relationship, whatever, what are we looking for? We're looking
Connection.
for empaths. We're looking for empaths who help us connect.
Mm-hmm.
Now we see the value. But 20 years ago, that wasn't the case. So when I finally found through coaching that this was actually a sought out skill, I was like, wait, I could just be me.
Yeah.
I can cry at commercials and Hallmark movies. I can talk about my love of all things Adam Sandler and Joni Mitchell and Emma Thompson and novelas and all this crazy stuff. And that's okay.
Yes. 100%.
Yes. I mean, good Lord. I honestly credit Hallmark Christmas movies for getting me through postpartum to a certain degree. I was like, you see, there's the silver lining.
Hey, it's
Oh,
rom-coms for me, okay? Rom-coms. I like those
yes.
Hallmark movies, but like,
Anything Meg
man.
Ryan, anything Jane Austen. Yeah, just bring it on. All of it.
Oh my gosh. I love how you explained that actually and shared that. It's just like the part where you said like just leaning into it. And it really ties back to like what you said of how that phrase, where I told you everyone listeners to rewind and listen again, where Gwen said, I'm not broken,
Yeah,
like that part of you is it's like a recognition of that. It's like I'm not broken.
I'm
It's
not broken.
it's 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 me. It's like, and it's a gift. It's like you just lean into it. And I totally resonate with you because when someone was like, did you know there's a book about empaths? And I was like, what?
Now there are all these books
There's all
and
these
there's
books
all this training, and I'm like, but I've been this way my whole
in
life.
life. Yeah. It's like,
It's just now it's okay, but before it wasn't.
yeah, I love it. I love it. So I want to know then. I mean, as I'm hearing your story, there's like moments where I noticed where you just had to have faith in yourself.
Yeah, a
Like
lot.
faith in like going through postpartum, faith in making those choices, right? Like, what's that? I mean, if you could share with our listeners, like, what was that like to really lean into that faith in those
Mm.
moments?
I grew up in a very faith-guided home.
Mhm,
Um, we were religious and spiritual,
mhm,
and I know the difference between the two.
mhm,
I know the big difference between the two, and we were both, right? There was a
mhm,
lot of work, especially my mom, that she did when I was a young teen. And She would take me to all these retreats, these like day retreats, charismatic group retreats at church and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're being asked all the time to like close your eyes and listen to the music. And what is it that God's trying to tell you? What is it that faith really looks like? There's a lot of that I was exposed to from a young age. And when it came to the really difficult decisions that I had to make and the leaps of faith, I think there was a part of me that was more naturally trusting of the process
Mm.
because I had that, I don't know, spiritual backbone, if you will, right? That core that was there that said things are going to work out because you're not alone, right? People who love you are going to support you no matter what. And every time I was in a bind, somehow, some way, something always turned up and turned around. Like when even the coaching program that I did to get certified, I got the application approval for the program that was fully paid for the same day I got out of the hospital from having a gallbladder attack. Like, no joke. I was trying to figure out what is going on with my health. Like, I just did a little workout and then I'm in the hospital and I'm like, what the hell? And the same day I get approved for this full ride program that would have cost me a couple $20,000 or so.
Mm.
And it was, okay, you have to start next month and I have to schedule surgery and I have to schedule this and I have to schedule like all of these things. And I kid you not, I said, you know what? I'm gonna just let things be because all of this is happening for a reason. I have been praying and hoping and wanting something life-changing to happen. And I've put myself in situations and areas where I'm kind of inviting all this in and it's manifesting. So I have to lean in and see what
Mm.
happens. And again, the more I've leaned in, the less I've ever looked back.
Ooh, I love that. I love just that phrase. The more I leaned in, the less I have to look back.
Yeah.
Say more about the part where the less you have to look back, because it's like, what do you mean by that? If a listener's listening to that phrase to help a
I,
listener with
I
that.
can give an example that's going to make it hopefully more tangible to all the listeners. In my last full-time job, I was wearing so many different hats. I was running programs, I was managing interns, I was doing fundraising, I was all the stuff, all the things, doing all the things. Graphics, engaging, like everything. And one of my points of frustration was that I felt like a jack of all trades and a master of none,
Mm.
especially in an industry where the people that really get elevated are the experts. Those are the people that I was picking up the phone to say, hey, I need you to speak on this topic. Or, hey, I really want you to sponsor this event, right? I was facilitating, but I wasn't becoming the expert that I thought that I needed to be.
Mm.
So professionally speaking, I was looking back at my career at, yes, these are accomplishments, but at the same time, but I could have been better here. I could have done better there. Or maybe I missed an opportunity to really just focus on this area and become an expert in this topic, right? Maybe things would look different if I had taken a leap and gone to this school or applied for that job and just become an expert at something. And I was always looking back. What could I have done differently? What could I have done differently? Where did I go wrong?
Mm.
Why am I in this position right now where I'm without a job and with a child and all these different things? It's always looking back and judging myself. I was never enough because I didn't get to become an expert at anything
Mm.
until I found myself in a position where me being me was more than enough. And that's the only expert I needed to be. So there is no more looking back and wishing things were different. There is no looking back and like, what could I have done to? No, I'm taking the risks that I feel comfortable taking, where I myself can show up as me, and that is more than enough. Where whatever I share is exactly what I want to share and what I know I need to share to be able to move forward. And that is enough.
I love that. I was like medicine for your soul. Literally, because it's, I mean, just the word enough is so powerful, as you kept saying that in your story here.
Hmm.
And you saying like that is enough for like stepping into you, being you is enough. It stripped away that story of who you felt you needed to become.
Yeah. So that's where the people pleasing comes in. Like,
Yes.
who are you pleasing when you're stepping into this role for someone else's benefit?
Hmm.
Is it for their benefit or is it for mine? Can it be mutual or is it exclusive?
Mm.
Like, if you can find yourself in a position where you can ask those questions and be honest with yourself, would you make the same decision?
Great question. Everyone pause right here.
I'm not trying to, and this is no, this is not to say at all that when you're in a position of need and you need to take a job and you need to work for someone who may not necessarily value you the way that you shouldn't do it. I cannot speak for anyone else's experiences. And I'm not going to sugarcoat anything and say it's been easy. Oh, I have tons of money. Not at all. It has been really huge leap of faith. And it's not just mine, it's my husband's, it's my family that's supporting me. It's been a leap of faith among all of us together to be able to do this work because we have seen what the alternate is.
Mm. There's that not looking back.
We know we know what that looked like. And we
Mm-hmm.
know, I feel like everyone can feel and see how much happier I am as a human being and as a mother and as a wife, as in everything now. And nobody wants to see me the way that I was. Not when they see this. And I mean, God, it would be so much more beautiful and more people had the opportunity and the people around them to help them feel that same way.
Mm.
It's a privilege that shouldn't be a privilege. It should be a right. We should all feel good. We should all not feel like we're broken, like we have to do something for someone else like that.
So this leads me to what I'm wondering about with what you just said. Like, it shouldn't be a privilege. It should be a right for everyone.
Hmm.
Right? So what would you say is kind of your lasting words of wisdom, maybe aligned with that? Because
Mm.
how would we be able to, I'm hearing this like theme of collectiveness, community, because that's what I'm noticing. And even in your story, like, you're not just doing it for you. You're not making these choices just for you. It's everyone. You were held along the way too, together,
Hmm. Yeah.
others. So what words of wisdom would you share with our listeners about this, like, right and the choice to, like,
Mm.
be you is enough? I'm throwing out all these themes here, I'm noticing.
Oh, man. Words of wisdom. One of the things that just came to mind is a quote from another coach who I worked with a ton, and her name is Kenyatta Turner.
Mm-hmm.
And you met Kenyatta, of course, and she has this quote that when I first heard it, it was like light bulb. To truly know yourself, you must first give up the illusion that you already do. And when I heard that, I felt completely disarmed. It's like I thought I knew everything that I needed to know about me. I'm vulnerable and I'm empathetic and I'm this and I'm that and I'm enough in certain ways. And then I realized, wait, I don't know everything. There's still more to know. And then it gave me permission to do an even deeper dive into who I am and to be less apologetic, even less apologetic now than I used to be before, or unapologetic. Um, and that was so freeing because that just unleashed all these other possibilities for me that I didn't know existed. And I'm like, wait, who is telling you who you are? Is it you? Is it social media? Is it your family? Is it the news? Is it your job? Is it your kid? Is it your spouse? Like, who is telling you who you are? It's my question to everybody. Who is telling you? Who is informing you of who you are? And who has the power to tell you that?
Mm.
Where can you get the language to figure that out? I feel like that's where real deep transformation comes from. Like when you've gained the language that actually helps you express what you're actually feeling, not what people tell you you're feeling. Like imposter syndrome. I have like this oh, I know you're laughing because I used to spoke about this and I'm like, I have like this visceral reaction to imposter syndrome because I felt it for a moment and then I'm like, F that. There's no I'm me.
That's why I was
I am
laughing.
me. I am me. I am not an imposter. I'm just me. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm being if I am thinking that I'm an imposter, it's because I'm trying to fit someone else's mold of who I should be, not because I'm being me. And if they can't see me for me, then they're trying to be an imposter. It's not the other way around. They're trying to tell me that I am them. I'm like, or that I should be what they want. I'm like, that's it's the other way around. It's a complete mind trick right there that is just insane, but is I understand why it works to help so many people express how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I wholly get it. I just hate it
Yeah.
because it's like,
Yeah.
no, I have the power to know who I am if I want, if I can, am afforded the opportunity and the time to actually figure that out. And we should have that. We shouldn't have to have 10 different degrees to prove to somebody who you are, right? If you want to go for 10 degrees, go for it, but do it because that's what you want,
Yes.
not because you want to fit this job description that may not even be created for somebody. It may be created for a person that they already know and that they want to have in that position. We don't know that. What is it that we were aspiring to really?
Love it.
So I feel like that quote, it just opened all of these windows and doors for me to just think about who people are and how they function. It's such a different way. It's like, again, I can't look back now because it's like now there's all this stuff to look forward to and learn about and want to know about. Past is the past.
Because you're
I
always
love that.
moving. I love it. I don't think I've heard that quote from Kenya. Maybe I've read it, but like just you saying that, like I could feel energetically all the bells like ding 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 ding. Like it's like I was like,
Yeah, it's like there's an
ooh,
illusion that I know who I am. It's like, actually, yeah.
yeah,
Because until you sit down to do the actual work of knowing who you are and sit down and like deconstruct it all, who are you really?
ooh, friend, ooh, you're just leaving us with a juicy, powerful question. I love it.
Yes, it's my
Yes.
life's mission. It is my life's mission. Like one of my things is like you don't know what you don't know. And that is
Yes.
not a judgment. It
No.
is not an affirmation. It is just a fact. We don't know what we don't know.
But that feels expansive too when you say that.
Yeah, because it applies to everything. We're not psychics. We're not all these, like, we're human beings. We have informed, learned behaviors and thoughts and all these different things every single day. And we think we know based on what we experience on every sensory level.
Mhm.
And if we can add the actual proper language to things, then maybe we can know things a little bit better. But
Mm.
otherwise, everything is subjective.
Mhm. Yeah, and you have choice in
You have choice.
you
Everything
are
comes back to choice.
choice. Yes.
How do you choose to be and show
Mhm.
up and do whatever you're going to do?
Yeah.
The power of choice is so big. If we let ourselves explore what that could look like,
Oh, juicy,
oh,
juicy,
I
juicy.
gave myself goosebumps.
It's like juicy. Cheers. Cheers to that. We're
Yes, yes,
cheersing,
yes, yes.
everyone. Woo!
Cheers.
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 Because oh my gosh, you could not have rounded out my day better than that, Gwen. Because this morning I was telling my own coach in my own coaching session is I said it and she reflected it back. She's like, you sounded so empowered. You like your body lit up. I said, I realize that I value autonomy and choice. And that is everyone. That's like the first thing I've realized for myself in all these decades I've been alive. Like, I mean, I realized a lot of things, but that, when you talk, Gwen, like choice that is resonant with you and
Hmm.
you feel it on all levels. That was the first time where I was like, wow, I choose that. Did I know that the last 10 years or 20 years or no, but if I think about that and reflect on that,
Hmm.
it's led me to, oh, this is actually what I choose for myself. Like, so, thanks for just speaking into that, Gwen. That is amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay. I just want to keep talking, but we're wrapping up here.
I know.
I loved everything that you shared here. And so I know that I'm going to have some listeners like, I want to connect with Gwen. And so how can people find you and connect with you, learn more about your work in your company? Yeah. Can you share that with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I am inviting everyone to connect with me. My email is Gwen at creates.com. And my company, well, what I do is that I do creative behavioral coaching.
Ooh.
I am actually, again, I coaching really did change my life. And um, I was certified through the Coactive Institute, and then again through Dream Smart Behavioral Sciences. So I do the DNA behavior assessment, the superpowers assessment, and financial temperament assessments. And I absolutely love both of those things. Um, I helped people get to know who they are, how they're wired to be, and accept all of these things as actual powers versus weaknesses, and like just figure out those weaknesses, right? Those communication keys that other people need to know so that about you, so that they can actually connect with you and that you can connect with others. Like, love that. Absolutely love it. It works with families, it works with couples, it works with teams, with businesses, with any, like, just so many different spectrums and industries. And I absolutely love it. I love it.
So
I love helping people figure out who they are, like really, and then getting to have power and choice and choosing the life they actually want to live.
that's how you heal
And
the
yeah,
world.
and it starts with us.
Yeah.
It really does begin with us, right? We are all grains of sand in this huge ocean, but we all have a purpose. We all have a purpose, whether the light is shining on one or it's shining on all, and we're just reflecting back or creating life and holding life, whatever it is we're doing, we all have something to give. So I want more people to feel that they belong, that they're enough.
That is amazing. Okay, y'all need to
Yeah.
email Gwen. I'm gonna put her email in our show notes. Just email Gwen. You just need to connect with
Yes,
her.
please. Yes,
Connect
please.
with her. Well, you ready to play the game? Mom
I'm
moments
ready.
in a minute. All right.
A moment in a minute.
Okay. Here we go. Let's go. First question. To have a moment of peace and quiet to yourself, which of these 4 places would you choose? The bathroom, the car, the bedroom, or the closet?
Car.
Car, yeah.
Yeah, I need to be able to sing to Adele at the top of my lungs and be okay. It's Adele or Backstreet Boys or Luis Miguel, whoever it is. I need to just be able to drive and blast it and just be fine.
You know, I love the Backstreet Boys. I went to see them in concert, and I was like, oh my God, left with my voice, like, no wonder there.
The last concert I went to was Chayanne, and he's a Puerto Rican artist, and it was jam-packed, and I sang every single song at the time of my life. Loved it.
Love it. All right, next is open answer question. So what is your favorite thing to do with your daughter?
Hallmark movie.
That aligns with what you said earlier.
It is our guilty pleasure. It is our guilty pleasure. She comes home from school sometimes, especially now, and she's like, Mom, you want to watch Hallmark? And I'm like, yes. Yes. Hallmark. Love it.
I love it. All right. And last one, to relax. Out of these 5 choices, what would you choose? A spa, a hike, a nap, read, or do a craft?
A nap. A nap. Because you know what? A nap means that somebody else is watching her, somebody else is taking care of the dog, somebody else is cooking, somebody else is doing everything, unless no one else is home. But no matter what, I have full permission to disconnect.
Yes. Love it. Love it.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for playing that game with me. And also thank
you for everything. This has been so much fun.
This is so fun. Thank you so much just for, honestly, like when you said like your vulnerability, like leaning into your vulnerability and just, showing up as you, like, and you said like, it doesn't do anyone good for me to not show up in this way. Literally, that's what you did in this episode. So thank you so much for doing that. I mean, that's an inspiration for every listener to that there is power in showing up as yourself. Right.
Yeah.
So thank you for gracing us with your presence and your energy and loads of wisdom. Oh my gosh. Like you could take notes, everyone.
Grandma Gwen. Dropping gems.
Grandma Gwen.
Well, thank you for just holding this space and being curious and asking so many good questions. And just letting me show up and share. We need these things. We need these platforms. And I want all the people, moms, dads, parents, everyone out there who's looking to feel empowered to really listen to your work, because you're highlighting real life. Yeah. And I love that and I appreciate it so much. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Gwen. We're keeping it real here, y'all.
We're keeping it real. We're connected for a reason.
Yeah. So true. Spiritual synchronicities is what I call it. Thanks again for being here, Gwen.
Hasta later. Hasta la próxima. Bye.
Alrighty, moms, I hope you enjoyed and feel empowered and seen from today's conversation. Our mission here on the podcast is to amplify the stories of all moms so that you can be seen, heard, and supported in your motherhood journey, regardless of whether you're balancing motherhood with an external career or choosing to dedicate yourself fully to motherhood. And we would appreciate your support because your support matters. And here are 3 ways to support the mission of the podcast. First, you can leave a rating on Apple Podcasts so more moms can discover this podcast. You can select a star rating by scrolling down on the Empowered Working Mom Revolution show page in the Apple Podcast app. 2, you can write a review on Apple Podcasts so more moms can find a place of solace, comfort, and belonging through this podcast. You can do this by scrolling down on the Empowered Working Mom Revolution show page in the Apple Podcast app and tap Write a Review. And lastly, make a one-time donation to the podcast for as little as $7 or whatever amount feels best for you. You can click the link in the show notes to make a donation. We appreciate your support, and thanks again for listening in and joining me here on the podcast. I look forward to sharing with you another inspiring mom moment story next week. So until next Wednesday, moms, have a great day.